Hello everyone, my name is Bav and I'm the training specialist for PixelPoint. This is the Kitchen Display System training. Introduced in v20.19, Pixel Kitchen is a native kitchen display system, KDS, to the PixelPoint POS. This KDS allows PixelPoint users to have the kitchen video functionality without the need to purchase a third-party software or service. PixelPoint out of the box is a very customizable KDS system which will evolve with each software iteration where new features and options will be added. Pixel Kitchen is licensed per video. Your PixelPoint license will reflect the number of screens purchased and therefore limit the site to how many screens can be configured. Contact your account manager to purchase Pixel Kitchen licenses and have that quantity added to the PixelPoint license key. Without the license being added, the Pixel KDS and Pixel Kitchen executables will not launch. Additionally, without this license being added, the Pixel Kitchen configuration screen in the back office will not be available for editing. Let's open up Back Office and take a look at printer setup. Open up Network Printers. Click on the New button located in the bottom toolbar and add a new printer. Define the printer name and printer description. As you can see here, our network printer name is Cold KDS and our printer description is Cold KDS. The printer type must be set to real-time video. The connected to station number should be a number that is out of range from the physical station number in the location. Use station number 999 or something high in the range. The on-port field can be anything but cannot be duplicated with other printers using the same station number. It is important to note the printer names of all KDS screens created should not have any spaces in the names. The printer name will be used in additional setup later in this document. For both QSR automations and Select Electronics, their kitchen video system cannot accommodate fraction quantities like 0.50. To fix that, Pixel KDS would send the quantity as a prefix to the product description. Pixel Kitchen can handle fractions, so this field, Add Quantity to Description, should be deselected to avoid the quantity being duplicated on the display. When the user selects real-time video as a printer type, this field is on by default. Next, let's take a look at printer channel setup. For each KDS printer setup in the previous step, now must be added to the list of printer channels available for routing. Enter the kitchen screen names into any available print channel spot. In the example above, 2 kitchen video screens were set up for routing of the products to the screen. If your site will have an expo screen, which consolidates orders from other screens for a restaurant employee to gather and package the whole meal together, please remember that this is not added to the printer channels. This will be configured in the Pixel Kitchen settings later in this video. Next, let's take a look at station setup. As you would do a physical printer, you need to set up printing per station for the routing of ordering products. In the back office, navigate to Point of Sale, Stations, and Printer Ports. For each station in use, assign the correct screen to the correct printer channel. Remember to duplicate this task for all stations, including the EUI stations if that exists. Next, let's take a look at report categories and product routing. If you think each video screen as just a printer that displays instead of printing on that paper, the routing of the products by report category is as done for normal configurations. In the example above, we have set up 2 kitchen video screens, hot screen and cold screen. Now each report categories and the items contained in the categories will be assigned to hot, cold, or no screen depending on where the product will be prepared. To access the report categories in the back office, navigate to Products, then Report Categories. Locate the desired report category by using the Find button or create a new record with the New button. Once located, click on the ellipse icon, the 3 dots, and select the desired screen or printer. As you can see, burgers are in the hot setup, desserts are in the cold setup, and drinks do not have a setup. Pixel Kitchen setup and customization. The Pixel Kitchen setup can be accessed through back office if a site has at least one kitchen screen on their PixelPoint license. In this section, the user can see the properties, colors, and configurations for each screen. Screen properties can be copied from one screen to another to avoid duplication of work. Welcome to the PixelPoint display system. Each screen will be displayed along the top row. The second row will have the properties of each kitchen display with additional tabs for configuration. Each screen can have these properties set: main properties, background properties, title bar properties, make time properties, sound properties, transaction header properties, transaction item properties, and preview of all configuration of that screen. Many of the settings are common sense. Many of the settings are based on taste and possible location branding. Each tab will have many of the same properties, and this document will go over some of the points of reference that the installer should keep in mind. As for colors, it is suggested to be minimalistic in choice of colors, but contrasting colors show best on the screen. For example, light text on a dark background. The main property tab. Items to note on the main property tab are the shape and number of panels. One item to note is the border width. This border should be large enough to be noticed. There is an option to make the timer where the border can change color depending on the time the order has been on the screen. After you set up on screen as you like it, the main tab of the additional screens allows the user to copy screen settings from another screen and apply it to the current screen. In addition, the user can export a screen settings and import those settings from another site. The checkbox, treat pre-voids as voids, should be used when real-time is being used. Real-time mode will send the items to the screen as soon as it is ordered, opposed to sending it when the check is paid. A pre-void is when the user voids an item and doesn't require a manager. Without this option checked, a pre-void item will just drop off the screen as if it never existed. The quantity section determines how fraction quantities are handled. The user can increase the decimal places or choose to use fractions. This is to say, show 0.50 or 1/2. The Bump Items To option allows to have an expedited screen or a chain of screens. For example, an expo screen is where an employee puts all items on the order together for packaging. In the example in this video, when an item is bumped from the expo screen, it will move to the cold KDS screen. Let's take a look at background and title tabs. The background tab allows to set the background colors, or an image can be imported and used. The Title tab defines the look at the top of the border of the KDS screen, defining the screen names at a glance. The color, font, and size of the panel can all be defined on this tab. However, the text that appears can either be the printer's name, KDS1, or the user can define a more descriptive name, Cold Prep Screen, for example. The Make Timer tab consists of 3 sub-tabs: New, Priority, and Rush. On each tab, the user can define the colors of the header, panel, and border. The Priority and Rush tabs allow for a timer in seconds as to when the next panel kicks in. The example in this video shows that the priority settings will be displayed after 240 seconds, at which time the panel changes to an orange theme with a bright orange border. After an additional time frame of 300 seconds, the panel will jump to the Rush settings, which may have a red theme to stand out and show urgency. The Sound tab allows the user to add attention getting sounds to any of the 7 events. The sound must be a WAV file and the size less than 1 megabyte. The Transaction Headers. The panel containing the order on the kitchen video screen is broken into 2 sections, the transaction header and the transaction items. You can have up to 3 lines of headers. In the transaction headers, you can see a few subcategories. There's the employee name, which is the person who took the order, member name, if assigned, resettable order number, if it's configured, the sales type, the station number, which is where the order was entered, the table number, the ticket number, if it's assigned, the transaction number, there's also the transaction state. That concludes this training for Pixel Kitchen KDS, and look out for future videos.